Good afternoon, everyone. How are y'all doing this week? It's sunny and 70s where I am. I hope the weather is as nice where you are, or I hope you're one of the people who likes the cold and snow. So last week I made a whole video going over patch notes for the Chaos Theory event. If you're unfamiliar with the patch notes or you haven't checked that out yet, go ahead and give that a watch because I won't go into the nitty-gritty of those details here. I will touch on, though, a couple notes that didn't make it into the official release but were added later. So what I will be talking about is the event itself, the new takeover location, the new features like the heat shield, and with any new patch launch, we've got bugs. I've also got a ton of footage here of Caustic treatment, the new town takeover. Of course, I forgot to record all of my good games at the spot, so you'll see a lot of dying, but there is one clip that I have after my team cleared the squads out, and I'm running around the POI a bit, and you can really get a feel for the spot. Now this patch seems to have more bugs than normal, but we'll get into that in a little bit. Let's start off with the good and jump right in. With this new collection event, we have a new limited time mode, Ring Frenzy. Now you probably played a couple of games and thought, well, this isn't what I would call a frenzy. There's a handful of rings, you can go around them pretty easily, you don't really have to deal with them that much. But I'm going to let you in on a little secret here. As the event goes on, it's going to ramp up. In time, there will be more rings and the size of the rings will get bigger. Take this time to learn the mechanics of the ring flares, practice using that heat shield, and really get used to the limited time mode. I think once this mode starts to ramp up, it'll really start to bring some chaos to the game. On top of it, if you think about the butterfly effect, the effects of something small like the flap of a butterfly's wings can turn into something bigger like a hurricane. And that's where we're at. We're starting small, but I'm expecting this to really turn into something big here by the end. Let's also talk about the name of the event. Chaos Theory wasn't randomly chosen or simply because it sounds cool, although it does sound pretty cool, doesn't it? Chaos Theory pretty much is looking at random or chaotic events and finding an underlying pattern to it. And that there really are patterns and repetition to all chaotic things, and you can find that given enough data. Ever since Season 2 of Apex, it has been utter chaos. Let's go back from the beginning here a little bit. Crypto blows up Repulsor, animals were set free, we go to World's Edge is being blown to hell due to the Harvester, we go back to Kings Canyon, Loba comes and blows up Skull Town, uncovers other parts of Kings Canyon that we didn't know before, we have Fuse coming to the games, his entrance is blown up by Maggie, the ship crashes, the lakes and river get contaminated, Kings Canyon gets blown up a bit, Caustic sets up Caustic treatment, and now he plans on gassing the entire continent next door to Kings Canyon. That's all pretty chaotic if you ask me. We know there's a pattern of repetition of a legend being introduced and we get a map change and usually the map gets mostly blown up. But this is just the beginning still. There's more chaos to come, and I think Caustic treatment is either in the middle of it all, or it's a catalyst for something much, much bigger. Let's talk about Maggie though. She's the announcer of this event, and that's so much fun. I love it when we get guest announcers like Revenant in Fright or Fight, and Mirage and Holiday Express. We also know based on the comics that Maggie has been hiding out on Kings Canyon for quite a while, at least since she blew up Fuse's welcome party. She finally makes herself known here to everyone else. Now my question is, story-wise, are Fuse, Lifeline, and Octane still being held prisoner by Maggie while she's doing this, or did she let them go in the meantime? I guess we'll find out March 30th, but this did confirm my previous theory that they separated the story out because they're intertwining gameplay with the story to make it feel more dynamic and included, and I really like that. Who knows, maybe we'll get Maggie as a legend someday. Although I can't imagine Watson is too keen on that since she's been messing around with the ring system. That's pretty much the lowdown on the new event. As far as non-story things go, I like the aesthetics of Caustic treatment. Sometimes town takeovers feel out of place or they don't belong or they kind of just tore down what was there before. But this really takes what was already existing at water treatment and made it better. It's kind of reminiscent of Bloodhound's town takeover if you ask me. I will say you won't find anything good right inside the doors of Caustic treatment. If you land there, go through the doors, you're not going to find anything. You're going to find straight garbage. I've landed there 4 or 5 times now, and each time the loot inside was terrible. So stay outside and loot the bins, or keep going straight to through the main building. I tried going up there to hide those big fans outside the main building. I tried going up there to hide, and they just blast you into the air like the big crack in the ground at Fragment on World's Edge, so don't plan on that for an escape route. The heat shields are fun, and the fast healing in them is nice, but don't forget people can still shoot into the shields. They're not like a Gibraltar shield. I'm really looking forward to seeing clips of people doing cool things with them outside the ring and getting back in, especially in the late rings. That's going to be really fun. Now on to everyone's least favorite thing about new patches, new bugs. They're going to happen, they're going to be there, but hey, they got to keep us on our toes somehow, right? Let's start with one of the worst bugs, the ring flare noise. Just about any time someone steps into a ring flare, everyone on the map hears an incredibly loud whoosh noise. Fortunately, Respawn knows about it and a fix is in the works, but it may not be a quick fix. Also, yesterday on release, bunny hopping was broken, but it's already fixed. There was an issue with sliding on surfaces before. I'm not sure if this issue was fixed with bunny hopping, or if those are separate issues and that's the sliding issue still going on. The issue was that when you would slide from one surface to the next, it would just stop you instead of continuing the slide. If you're still having issues with this, sound off in the comments below. I'd love to hear about it. We were also told that Loba's tactical issue where you would throw the bracelet and it wouldn't register on surfaces was fixed or better, but in actuality, it's worse now than ever before. I don't even know if it works at all based on the videos I've seen of her. Hopefully that gets into a hotfix soon. Another bug is that, although I love Mad Maggie announcing the match, sometimes her lines will double or triple up and go on for a while, so you're hearing the same line overlapped on itself 2 or 3 times, and that'll go on for the whole match. It's really a bummer that it's bugged because it is a fun feature to implement in the limited time modes. Now something that was thought to be a bug, but apparently isn't, is Bangalore, Caustic, and Gibby all got a secret nerf. Just when you thought Caustic couldn't be nerfed anymore. I'm shaking my head over here. But this affects all 3 of them. The particle density from Bangalore's smoke, Caustic's gas, and Gibby's airstrike is now much thinner than before. You can see through the smoke, gas, and airstrike. What's the point of a smoke screen if you can see through it? On top of that, now not only does Caustic's gas not cause blurred vision or slowed speeds, but it's also less dense. Gibby seems like a more minor effect as his airstrike isn't dependent on visibility, but the other 2 are pretty big nerfs to those abilities. Another patch note that wasn't included on the initial patch notes, remember last week, my dog's sounding off there a little bit, she's got some thoughts on that too. But if you remember last week when I talked about the Gibby arm shield bleed through and was surprised it wasn't there, it actually is there and can confirm it is in game. There may still be some issues as far as registering shotgun pellets, but there's video evidence for things like the Kraber that bleed through is live and working. Also quickly, Apex Legends on the Switch is up and live, including all the benefits that come with that right now. It's also confirmed that you don't need to have Nintendo Live to be able to play online, which is super exciting. That's it for this week, folks. I really didn't think this week's video was going to be this long, but it turns out there was a lot of lore and story implications I wanted to talk about. How do you all like the new limited time mode? Comment below or let me know on Twitter @Hiranaman. And again, a big shout out to Toxic Dogs for putting this thumbnail together this week. Go give her a follow or show her some love on Twitter @ToxicDogs. And I will see you next video.